welcome back guys. In this video we are going to see what is async and await in Playwright. Not in a Playwright, basically it is in a Node.js. Okay, so Playwright is developed over Node.js, so it applicable for Playwright as well. Okay, it is not only applicable for Playwright. If you are using a Puppeteer or a Protractor or WebDriver.js, so it is applicable for all the JS tools. I mean, like all the JS automation tools, not only automation, anything. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so for this purpose I'm going to print hello world into the console. Okay, so console dot log hello Mars. Okay, so how do we run it? We type node and then we type the file name, which is async await.js. okay, let me give a single quote. So after typing two letters, if you press tab, it will complete. If it will auto complete if there is no other conflict file is present. Okay, so let me enter. So it says hello Mars. That is good. Let me say hello world. Okay, so now again we have added one more print message, hello world. Let's see how it works. So we are printing hello worlds as well. So if you see, the hello Mars is in the first line and the hello world in the fourth line, which means empty spaces will be removed, so it will be something like this one. So first is Mars and the second one is worlds. Okay, so here also you can see Mars printed first and worlds printed second. This is fine, absolutely fine, there is no problem with it. But just a moment, let me see whether I'm recording. Yeah, fine. So yeah, so as of now there is no problem, it prints sequentially. Okay, so this is what normally we see it in every programming language, and our mind also perceives that after first step execute the second step. This is how normally we do it. Okay, now let me execute a for loop. Okay, for it is similar to Java for loop only, where I equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus, and then we say instead of 100 let's go with 10 because I'll not be able to showcase in the screen. Okay, console log. Okay, let me clear it. Okay, if I'm executing it again, okay, so node async await.js. so don't get don't get confused with the dot slash. It's basically says from the same folder. Okay, without that also it works fine. Okay, it says hello Mars and it prints the numbers and then it says hello words. Yes, so far so good. Okay, now let me delete this thing, delete the complete code and bring the code from the last file. Okay, so now we are importing the Playwright and using the async function we are opening the browser first and then we are opening the tab and then we are going to some web page and then to web browser.close. so for to be standard with the industry, I'm going to change this tab as page. Okay, I mean it is tab but people tend to say it's a page, so let's say it's a page. Okay, so now let's execute this one and see what it does. Basically I'm expecting a browser to open and close. Okay, it's done its work. This is well and good. Okay, so far so good. Now let's introduce a console log here. Console log dot log, let's say first line the function. Somehow C is not working on my keyboard. Okay, now let me run. First line got printed and then browser opened. See, here the line got printed and the browser opened. This is well and good. Okay, let me put console.log at the end. So it says it's end game. So it is the last line. So first line got printed, browser got opened, and once the browser is closed, here we should see a print. Yes, now we are receiving the print. So this is good. Okay, now let's come to the part where this everything changes. Okay, now in the top I'm printing console log. Let's say it is like very fast line. Okay, it says very fast line, and again let's run it. Okay, now we should get the right output. Somehow it's not getting there. Okay, now it says like very first line, and then first line in the function, and I am the end game. Okay, now everything works fine. Okay, so first line and then first line in the function, and I am end game. Okay, perfectly printed. Okay, now let's, so similar to this. Okay, let me clear the console and add one more console log. Okay, now confirm console dot log it says I change everything. Okay, so now if I execute this particular code, basically what we are expecting is, sorry, yeah, now what we expect is, first I want this very first line to be printed. Okay, and then first line in the functions to be printed, and I am end game, that should be printed. Okay, and then I change everything, this also should be printed. Okay, this is what our normal expectation. Okay, so this I change everything should print at last. So now let's execute this code. It says very first line, it says very first line. Okay, and then it says first line in the function, and then it says I will change everything. But this I change everything is present at the line 13, but I am endgame is present at line 10. How did this happen? See, if you can say like it is inside the function, but we are calling the function before this printing, right? So how did it happen? Okay, so normally with the programming languages, how they work is they go by line, they will execute. But when it comes to Node.js, okay, as I told you earlier, it is based on the asynchronous processes, which means that you have 100 lines of code. Okay, let's say in a file 100 lines of code. Now what this file, all the lines will try to do is they will try to get executed first. Okay, and even 100 line also wants to execute first, and 10th line also wants to execute first. But our expectation is first, second, third, 99th, 100. That's how normally we expect. But in Node.js, everything will try to start execute at first only. So because of that only the problem arises. Okay, now let me explain it here. Okay, so the first line got executed, and then we called this particular function. Okay, so here it might be confusing a little, so if you want me, I'll remove it. Okay, let me put it in normal way. Function, say ABC. Let's remove this. Okay, so basically this is what it is previously also. It is the same thing, but we are, instead of giving the function name, we are just using an empty. Okay, even if, let me execute it for just make you sure that everything is same. Okay, if you see, still the same output is there because it's the same function, right? So now let me explain. The first line gets executed, I mean in the file the first line is there. Okay, so it tries to execute first. Prior to this particular first line there is no other line, so it just starts. Okay, then it comes to this line 12. Okay, because the function will not be executed unless we call it. Okay, that is the normal thing. So now it comes to the 12th line, it starts executing the line 4. Okay, now here the 5th line try to start executing. Okay, here what it means is like first line is already executing, I'll also try to execute. This is what it will say. Okay, and I'll try to execute, but the processes should resolve it. Okay, should accept and end the process. Let's say for example, um, when you are having a loop from printing 1 to 100, okay, it will go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 like, right? So it will take little time to go till the 100. I mean 100 very fast, but if you take thousands and thousands, it will take time. So during this time, the other processes also, I mean other lines also will try to get executed. Okay, so here this is inside a async function. Okay, these are all inside the async function. So what they will do is, this is async function. So when we mention async in front of a function name or function, what it does is the following block is async. We are directly telling to the Node.js that the following block is asynchronous. I mean like anything can execute anyway. Okay, so inside that one we are making await. So here the await means wait for the line to complete. Okay, that's what await simply means. Okay, so all the things, so here till here it is going to be waiting. Okay, so first it will print, after that it will wait till this particular thing is done. Okay, till the browser is launched. And the second line here we made a await. This means like open a tab and wait. Till opening a tab, wait. Okay, and third one again we are saying await. Till navigating to a page, you wait. Okay, and the same thing to the close. So here the console log, normally console log will not require await, but in case if you are using some title or something retrieving from the browser or web page, then you need to use the await for that particular uh, any element or value that you are fetching. Okay, I'll showcase you that as well. Okay, now here this will wait to execute one by one, but if you see the console.log, it is outside the async block. So this is also by nature it's asynchronous, but we are not making it to wait. Okay, so what it will do is it got printed and it got printed even during the first itself. It is also this one also will get this one also will try to execute, but here for this one also there is no async. I mean it's not waiting till something completes, so it gets printed, and then till this things gets printed it cannot wait. This particular thing is in so hurry that it cannot wait, so it will try to print as soon as possible. So before this three process gets ended, this one can be completed. Okay, so that's why this gets executed here. I am the change, sorry, I changed everything, and then the last it comes to here, because here it is inside async block, and everything for everything we are using await statement. Okay, so basically async is nothing but the async keyword. We are denoting something is going to be asynchronous. Okay, so everything is going to be asynchronous, I mean without await. So when we use await inside the async block, okay, that means we are telling that particular command to you finish first and give the control to the next line. Okay, that's what await is. Okay, this particular await is not telling for the first line. Okay, this await tells for the commands that comes next in the same line. Okay, so does every await. I hope it is clear now that when we use await, it will wait for that particular command to finish. Okay, so was there any other way? I mean like when if you use a protractor, there is a thing called a then block. Okay, so after this one you will write dot then and then function, you will use that particular values, but you know that is a tedious thing, and that is kind of a headache in a protractor. So simple way to handle is await. Okay, so this is why we use await. Now let's print, let's remove these things. Now I hope you guys understood it. So let's do one more example before we conclude this lesson. Okay, let me remove it. Okay, here I'm going to print the page title. Okay, page dot title. Okay, so here if you have a doubt, like I checked page because here we are using a page. Now page dot title. Okay, so here you are getting the suggestions, but it will not say. Normally with the Java and all you will have a brackets saying that it's a method, but with respect to VS Code and JavaScript, here you can see it is a method. Okay, so even if you click, it comes as a variable. Okay, but you have to carefully note that particular thing what it's saying, and then you have to include that particular method brackets. Okay, now I am trying to print this particular console.log in the line 8. Okay, now let's run it. Let's run and see what it's going to be. Now we got an error. That is fine. The error says promise pending. Okay, so every single retrieval from the browser will return a promise. By default it will return a promise. Okay, that promise will be solved, or that particular line will wait only when we use await. Okay, or you have to use a then block, but then block is a headache, so we are using await for every place except this place. Okay, so here it says unhandled promise rejection warning, page.title protocol error, target closed dot error. Okay, which means that before it can solve the promise, okay, the retrieval, basically everything returns a promise. Inside the promise we will have the values. Okay, we have to solve the promise to get the value. Okay, how do we solve it? Either using then block or using await, but here we don't use it await. So it was solving, the line 8 was solving the promise, but by the time line number 9 closes the browser. Okay, are you guys getting it? Here I am trying to print the page title. Basically it will return the Playwright return a promise. Inside that promise value will be there. What is the title? Okay, so to see a value we have to solve a promise. Okay, now to solve a promise we normally use the await. Here we are not using it. Fine, so line number 8 is still solving the promise. Now the line number 9 comes and it closes the browser. Now you can say, like, after the line 8 there is await at line, why it won't do anything? This await in the line number 9 is applicable for browser.close. Okay, not for this line number 8. That you need to understand. So this one is for browser.close only, the await and the line 9. Okay, now if I add await here and clear the screen and execute, now we should see the title. Okay, it says Google. If you ever visit the Google, the title will be Google. Okay, so this is basically async and await and promise. So if you want me to put it in a very simple way, what the promise is, it is like peanut. Okay, it is like a peanut. So inside a peanut you will have a piece. Okay, the seeds will be present inside the peanut. So we have to open the outer shell to eat that peanuts, right? Okay, so we have to open it. Promise is like a peanut, the outer shell of the peanut. Okay, so we have to open it first. So to open that one we will be using await. Okay, so that is all with respect to async and await. If you have any doubts, please leave a comment below so that I can help you on to resolve the problem, or I may create a new video if the problem that you are explaining is very big and it is common for all. Okay, thank you guys.